Utilities Commission meeting to order. Start with roll call, please.
Alderperson Newman. Commissioner Engel.
Aye.
Commissioner Frings.
Here.
Commissioner Lodoff.
Here.
Commissioner Patrick.
Here.
Commissioner Bushy.
Here. Next on the agenda is citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens' comments?
That's you if you like. Did you wanna,
Me?
yeah,
Oh,
did you wanna speak on it? We can put you, since it's not an agenda item, we can put it on the citizens comment, like in the email there.
yeah,
Yeah, did you wanna
sure. I just,
just introduce?
I'm here to, my name is James Orr, I'm a coding inspector. Courtney and, what was the fellow's name?
Him.
Tim. Invited me to come up and look at the tank because there were some issues on the exterior. And, it's one of those touchy things that what do you decide to do with, you got a coating problem on the outside? Do you take it down to bare metal or do you overcoat it? After looking at it, it looks like it definitely could be overcoated. I definitely would, if you could, I don't know who you're looking to bring on board for the.
I think we're still looking at getting people to do that. Yeah.
I would definitely lean towards see if we can get contractors to offer up, especially if we go with the overcoat, a 5-year warranty. I mean, that's reasonable. There's a big savings, obviously, for not taking it down to bare metal. But if there's that savings, let's see if we can get some more assurances on the other end from your contractors. If they're so confident that they can overcoat it without taking it down to bare metal,
Yeah.
pretty much show us that in writing, because there is risk involved. I've had situations where I've been on a job where they were planning on overcoating it, and the contractor got into it, and it all blew up on them. And the poor owner got stuck with $150,000 change order.
So you're right, you don't think it needs to be?
It's possible, but it's gonna have to be dealt with extraordinarily and with some third-party inspection. I would definitely, whether I'm the inspector or not, somebody verifying that this got signed off on.
Anything else?
That's all I got to say. I'm just here to support
Okay.
Courtney and Tim here.
Next on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda, which consists of the November 7th commission meeting minutes and both the water and wastewater bills. So take a motion in a second and we'll have discussion.
So move. I'll second.
Any questions or comments? Mike?
What? I just had a question on the sewer jetter. Was that routine maintenance? What was it in for? I see it went to HD, but that couldn't have been anything with electronics.
No, it was I thought it was a sensor, a light issue, something that came on.
There was a sensor, and then they did annual maintenance to it. They went through the whole truck.
Oh, okay.
Instead of taking it up to Appleton or Oshkosh,
The truck's out of warranty, so we don't take it to the warranty location in Oshkosh.
So that's once a year you have that done?
in October, we get it done before winter.
That's all I have. Kurt Bird.
Anything else? Now we'll take roll call on that.
Commissioner Engel.
Aye.
Frings.
Aye.
Lodoff.
Aye.
Patrick.
Aye.
Bushy.
Aye. Next on the agenda, discussion possible action regarding lead credit discussed on 11/7 citizen comments by Kurt Schmidt, 1440 Hort Pond Street.
Okay, so you do have or based on last month's citizens comment, I do have his usage in there for the last, I don't know, about 12 months or so, that item D chart.
Since I wasn't here, what happened?
Well, and then that's why I'm here. So actually,
I got bad news actually from Courtney here too. Sorry.
Both of us, yeah.
So our bills have been rising because we thought we found a leak, Keith, on that. Scott Bernhardt came in and we actually noticed that there was an issue back in the deli department where there was a consistent running back by the dishwashers. So he replaced that module and valve unit and he was thought, oh, this is great, we found it. Well, needless to say, I'm talking to Courtney, if she comes in the store and says, look at your water bill, I didn't get it yet, I got it the next day. And I'm like, oh, God, we didn't catch it, there's something else going on.
So you're still leaking?
So we're still leaking. In fact, I actually had Scott up here a few minutes before we came down. I talked to him yesterday and today. He's going out of town for a few days, but he's gonna come in overnight, next Wednesday night, and try to take a camera through everything and also trying to listen to everything and shut things down and hopefully we can figure out the plan. I got, our corporate office sent me all the blueprints. So long story short, we have all the blueprints from the original building all the way through the different renovations. So hopefully that helps him to, find out wherever this issue is. So,
Well, I know if Scott can't find it, Tim,
I have a number, I'm
there's a
writing it
leak
down right
detection
now.
company that
Mike
these
from
guys,
American Leak Detect, he was just.
That's all they
here
do.
the other day.
really,
Did anybody ever look at the meter, like, when everything's supposed to be shut down, there's a flow meter
I did.
right on the meter, that's the first thing you should
Should
show.
show it.
At one time, a couple years ago, we did.
You go there when all their equipment is shut down, like
I
you
would,
said.
I would like to get that information from you if you can.
I think if we bring Mike,
I
here,
already recorded.
he can pinpoint that pretty easy.
You are out of
your
time.
guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He does like sonic heaters pretty much.
He'd be here like tomorrow morning.
Really?
You could call him, he's in Sussex.
I'm gonna definitely call him because I'm not gonna wait for
So
Scott.
what did we pay last time? $300?
Yeah.
$300.
Well,
That's pretty
sounds
good.
like it would be inexpensive to, you can
well,
find it for
this
that.
is- trust me, I don't wanna have issues with anything.
So-
That's,
I guess what I'm hearing is we're not really ready to shut this down yet, right?
no, I was hoping that we would have been, but
We're not,
Like I said,
not 100% sure where the water is going.
we don't.
Okay.
Maybe this will be the end all be all. I'm hoping.
I mean, if for us going into the ground is one thing, going into being treated in the sewer is kind of the way we have to look at it, I guess.
If it's going to the sewer, then
Yeah.
you lose the ability to make a big difference. That might be a case where, I don't want to put Tim on the spot, though, that Tim could meet with that guy
Yeah,
and between,
if you want, Mike's a real nice guy.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Tim, I'm gonna reach out to him and then,
Yeah, just have him give me a call, I'll give you my number and get a hold of me.
no, I don't want to put you on,
That's fine,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
between
not
the
a
two
big
of
deal. Yeah, we can find it, we'll look around.
well, this is perfect.
You got the prints, I'll just give you my cell number right away.
Yeah. I guess if you don't mind, we can table this until we really find out what the issue is. I'd appreciate that.
Find
bring
out
it
what's
back
the issue.
next month and.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to come up with a number otherwise that way too, and we don't know.
Yeah, if you don't mind, give him a call.
I'll call and set
Let
something
me give you
up.
my number really.
Yeah.
What's your number?
920.
Okay.
960.
Changing numbers, this is getting serious.
774.
Courtney, do you
That's-
need
Oh.
anything else?
I don't, so citizens' comments,
Awesome.
thank you. Your item is on, we can put your inspection services on the next agenda
That's fine.
too,
That's fine.
if you'd like.
Guys, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Hey, really appreciate it.
We,
Yeah, so
We
we
need,
can put your, like, a decision on it.
Oh,
Thank
that
you.
would be awesome.
probably should have a motion.
I'll
second.
I'll make I'll make a motion and
What's that?
table it until next month.
So we're tabling,
That might be a
Yeah.
great Christmas present.
Any
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
first, we
Okay,
got a
submit
first, we
that,
got a
okay,
second.
perfect.
So we have a first and a second to table it till further information.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is, discussion possible action regarding implementation of chloride reduction program in partnership with Culligan Water.
Okay, so this we talked about last time, with the DNR pretty much wants us, we have to take some action in regards to reducing chlorides, at the residential water. One thing she suggested was implementing the chloride replacement, softener program with Culligan. He doesn't have a lot of references. You had me come back with references. It didn't work in the past because municipalities required so much paperwork.
Yeah.
Like, fill out this rebate form, submit it here, go back and forth. Adam in Brownsville just passed this couple nights ago, so he and I were kind of the first ones on it, and he was told the same thing by the DNR. So his village board just passed this, I think they're doing $250 off. Culligan takes $250 off a new install for an efficient softener. We know it's installed correctly and efficiently. Culligan reports to us, I changed one at blah, 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 and we send that rebate directly to Culligan rather than the customer. No, he's sending it right to Culligan, he's letting them build it, because then it's off the customer too. So Culligan takes the money right off the top, the customer doesn't have to wait for, pay it and then wait for a repayment, just trying to make it as simple as possible.
What did you determine is gonna be our portion? Where is that gonna come from? We match.
So we came up with an account, I think I have it on
Professional.
other professional services, we budget 1,500, that's one we kind of go back and forth on using. The risk we take is nobody could use it, nobody could use it ever, if they didn't want to, or, I don't see 15 people a year jumping on changing out their softener though, but it's one of those things that you have to, the DNR wants to see an effort. They want to see that we have programs in place available to people,
They
whether we.
aren't mandating anything so far.
Well, we want those, they want to see an effort in chlorides,
But, yeah,
because
other
we're
than an effort.
definitely, we're pushing it.
Yeah.
And, we know we have industrial issues that we're working with. They want the overall chloride reduction effort in place.
How much of an impact do you think that residential water softeners have on our?
I think it's a pretty good portion,
Yeah,
actually.
what is the percentage of residential customers that have a water softener? You know that?
We had a very hard time finding lead, when we had to find lead test homes, we had a very hard time finding test homes without a softener, because that's one of their requirements.
Just by going through your cross connection sheets over the years, we always kept track of it, remember? I'm gonna say probably 70%.
Have water softeners. Oh.
And there's very,
I
very few,
believe that it's pretty popular.
very, very few that don't have them. Our water's pretty
Our
close, it's
Lakes
pretty
are
hard.
sold that real good.
So,
Yeah, we had to find, 40 homes that one year for testing lead, and they couldn't have a softener that we had to find. So finding 40 was pretty much impossible. Yeah, not easy.
Oh, so what was their estimate for a new softener from Culligan?
Their price,
Yeah.
I think, shoot, I had those in the last
You didn't have
packet.
anything.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I'm in the last packet, but off the top of my head, I don't want to guess wrong. I thought it was,
Well, he just said $1,000 or
Yeah. I think you have choices as to what the level of equipment you want or the sizing, things like that, but I would probably say,
are we requiring them to have an HE one, like a high efficiency one?
I don't think Culligan makes anything.
Their top of the line is high efficient,
Yeah.
real high, but we're talking big
Well,
dollar.
yeah,
We're
there
up
should
at
be some sort of
Middle of the road.
percentage of efficiency. It's like a furnace, 80%, 90%.
I'm sure pretty much industry standard is,
Yeah.
there's not a real low end anymore,
No, they're all on demand is the key. It has to be an on demand,
Yeah, I would say.
on demand softener and not a time-based softener. What's the biggest?
And what are we thinking our rebate would be?
So we were saying 200 initially. Adam in Brownsville just got the 250 approved because he was teetering between the two amounts too. So half of it would be 250 from us, 250 from Culligan. They'll match whatever we would do for a rebate.
Oh, that'd be a pretty good deal.
Well, it gets down to the point where it's
Until theirs takes a dump,
And if somebody, Nicole has like 7 bags a month. Well,
You may take advantage of that. I have your.
Might take advantage of it if they're
We
using
do get
it.
calls where people are checking the hardness and stuff, maybe there's people that don't have them that, what incentives would put them in and,
I don't have one, and I think.
you okay?
Yeah. Well, I always wanted one, but I think it would push me to get one.
yeah.
And some people just have a preference of, like
Right.
the bathing preference. is
Right.
They have to have one, so.
So the question is, do we want to subsidize that program by offering a $250 rebate to homeowners.
I don't think it's good.
I think, if they're suggesting it now, how long is it gonna be till it's mandated by the DNR?
The chloride levels are really, really touchy right now with the DNR. I mean, we're coming to the point where we're gonna have to, environmental fees that we pay at the end of the year are based on the poundage of contaminants that we put out. Right now, we don't pay chlorides. That's next.
Yeah.
So it,
Well, and we knew we have a big potential chloride producer in one of our industries in the
yeah,
southern area.
we're very close to our limit every month. We skate very closely.
So at what point do you think we'll have to mandate homeowner to have a high efficiency or a demand?
I don't know. I think they would look all around. I think as long as that effort's there, I've never had a problem with our representatives or DNR. As long as we're putting forth effort, we can't necessarily force people to do everything, but the opportunities are there to
I think
make
it's
an
a
effort
win-win.
and public
With the
education.
DNR, that's just one step away.
Yeah,
You know how they operate.
yeah, very well. Hot topic, yeah.
Well, I guess I'm to the point where I think we probably ought to consider subsidizing at the $250 level, so it'll make a difference to people.
You know, I'd be willing to do it, especially if we put it for the year of 1 year or something like that, to
Just
see how it works.
So you
If we
can-
get overwhelmed,
You can always, retract the program if you don't feel it's working or if it's not taking it, and putting it out there, I guess, is the important part right now. I mean, I want people to take advantage of it.
well,
To a
that'd be
degree,
pushed too, is say that for 1 year, whether it's 2024, we will do this. This is gonna be a
Yeah.
1 year program.
I mean, and it might
Trial
be,
program.
a more expensive,
Now, this is.
softener per se, but I don't know, by the time you buy one at Menards and hire
I
a
was
plumber,
just
it
gonna
might
ask,
be
is
about the
that-
same.
Is this for Culligan only, or is it for?
Yes,
more?
Culligan is offering the incentive to us. I mean, I'd be happy to group with other people if this is something that's successful and they have a choice, but
So if somebody wanted to buy a Morton from Menards, that this wouldn't qualify, that would.
We
No.
wouldn't have assurances that it would be set up correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay away from that.
If, for example, if the plumber in town here, we're putting him in, I would consider.
yeah, a program with the,
Yeah, he sells
Well,
capitals,
maybe.
he sells capitals, that's a good water softener.
Bernard.
and that's another option for people
That's-
to,
that's
I mean, we
the
could
old days.
put something like that through or work something out with Scott too.
I don't have a calendar.
Put it outside for a year, at least that keeps it fresh,
Right.
comes
Yeah.
back to us.
And
Otherwise,
he's
it-
offering free inspections for everybody too. So obviously the goal in that would be to make
Well, they
some
want-
form of a sale, but he's gonna do some optimization while he's there too, so.
Are you looking for a motion?
Mhm.
I move that we go along with this program with Culligan and we subsidize at the $250 level for 1 year. See how it goes.
Starting
Second?
for 2024?
Second, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that nice? The second?
Prosper. So a motion and a second, any further discussion? Now we'll take roll call on that.
Commissioner Engel?
I,
Brady?
Hi.
Lodell?
Aye.
Casper?
Aye.
Lister?
Right. Next is discussion possible action in regard easement agreements for Alley Street Water Loop parcels.
The last three, 060 and 061, if that works for you.
Correct.
A lot of numbers. All
That
right,
just came through on my DNR update, that clean water loan.
oh, really? Cool.
Amazing. So Alley Street was on there.
Yeah, so that's a retroactive. So these are the legal descriptions for the easement. We moved the easement from the original plans during that project. I guess kind of Tim and I went the other direction, approached the homeowner to get an easement agreement. It was 100 feet shorter and not under a creek. And we felt that was a better option for getting the loop system done. I think saved 2 valves in the process, because under that creek would have had to been pressure tested and valved on either side. So these are the legal agreements for the 2 property owners that we obtained easements from. One just barely skirts the back 6 inches of her property, just where they make the bend. And then the other one is it's an unbuildable portion, it's under his driveway. And it just loops back to Walnut Street, so.
and the homeowners were pretty agreeable.
Yeah, they were excellent, yeah. Yep, excellent.
So you're just looking for a motion to approve these?
To approve both of these, and then these need to go to, common council for approval, I believe the 11th as well.
So we're just looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Approve the easements.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Take roll call on that.
Commissioner Engel?
Aye.
Frame?
Aye.
Modal?
Aye.
Casper?
Aye.
Wolfski?
Right. Discussion of possible action regarding planned maintenance agreement with Total Energy Systems LLC for generators.
So this is something we do normally right now, with interstate, generator annual inspection, 2-hour load bank testing. We kind of went back to looking at a different company. We're not, it's a lot of retirees, and some of the team coming in hasn't, I don't know,
You're not happy with Interstate?
lived up to our expectations,
A
yeah.
lot of young guys.
No.
How many generators do we have? Just the one main one? Is that what you're talking about?
3, 4, 5, 6.
Does that include the portable one, or don't we have that anymore?
No, not the portable, just installed. I've worked with Total Energy Systems before. I really liked them. What they can offer to us, is a little bit of savings in a 10-year. So they offer, how do I say that? They have a plan through 10 years. You can agree to sign up for 10 years. You can cancel whenever you want, but they lock in that price the same as you sign in day 1 as in year 10.
Where are they located out of?
Butler, I believe. Butler. So what we'd be looking at is a 2-hour load bank in the regular annual maintenance. I feel we're getting a little better value out of this.
How much is it in here?
Well, it depends on the generator. So like Bull Road, for example, your annual maintenance is $865 and your
Total.
2-hour load bank is $680. So yeah, total. And they're there, when they do generators, they're here for 3 to 5 days straight, and it's a half day or better on each generator, and they go through pretty much everything. And a 2-hour load bank is gonna take 2 hours. Came up with that, but yeah, and I've gone through with them too, the benefits of, I always prefer the 2-hour load bank. 1 hour doesn't really put it under pressure enough, and 4 hours is a little excessive in most people's opinion. So the 2 is right in the middle where it needs to be, my feeling.
So like at well 5, you'll be running the well pump in hand for the 2 hours and the generator when it kicks in when necessary. I mean, the lift station.
The lift station, yeah. Yep. So that would be the same for all of them.
Is our contract up with the other one?
It's a year-to-year basis, so nothing's locked, so that price can always adjust too.
And are you gonna make adjustments then when well 4's generator goes online?
Yep. And yeah, he said that's something we can add, any of these add or remove anytime. It's a 10-year locked-in price, but you can, if you want out at year 2, you're not
Then
obligated
they're gonna
to.
get bought out by someplace in Georgia?
Yeah, I know that
That's,
10-year deal kind of gets a little,
They sell this to us,
yeah, 10-year deal gets a little, everyone has a little
You
trigger
can
from that.
confirm no penalties.
No
Cost
penalties,
nothing to back off. If you
So there's no
decide
downside.
after 2 years on.
not really, you're locked in. If the price of oil goes up $8 million at the, when they're doing oil and things like that, you're still locked at, when they're doing their maintenance items. I don't know what happens to prices and supplies and things like oil, you're
We've
locked
worked with them
in.
before, I'll make a motion to recommend them.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any further discussion?
So what we've got then is the annual maintenance fee plus the 2-hour bank fee, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
For each,
Yeah, for each of the generators that we do the annual maintenance on.
And you said they are actually cheaper than with Interstate.
They're very comparable, yeah, they're right about the same. Some are high, some are low, but pretty much apples to apples when you break it down. We tried to get a hold of them recently, we had a block heater go out mid-October, at Leroy Kikoski lift station. It fried the electrical, we replaced the plug. they can't find the replacement block heater. So we're still on December 5th, and we still don't have a block heater in there. So it was about a month of, where is it? Like, it's getting cold out, we live
And that
in
was the whole
Wisconsin.
company?
Yeah, so I still don't have a block heater from mid-October from them, so I'm getting a little frustrated.
Do the current generators have an automatic start once a month or something to check?
Mhm.
So we run some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Put them under load, to make sure they run, the transfer switches work.
That's
And
what-
stay on, I know Mike always keeps a pretty good eye on that. Lets us know when he's testing them and stuff, and he documents when he runs them and what's running with it, and it's switching back and forth.
Well, if they don't work when you need them, it's not
So the
ideal.
motion is second. Any further discussion? We'll take roll call on that also.
Okay, Commissioner Engel,
Aye.
Briggs,
Aye.
Lodo,
Aye.
Casper,
All right,
Roski.
all right. Now we get to the discussion
Big
possible
one.
action regarding contractor recommendation for Clark Street Water Tower cleaning.
Alright, I'm gonna swing back and put this all together here for a minute. So after we got these quotes for water tower painting, went back and forth, wanting to make sure we're making the right decision on taking a tower down to bare metal or clear coating. I mean, you're talking a difference of $500,000, so we really wanna make the right decision for the next
Oh, yeah.
20 to 25 years. So we brought in, the gentleman who came in before. He has somewhat of a scope of work here. His aspect he wants to do, or he came in and was offering inspection services on our towers. We kind of did some of the legwork here already for that and with the quotes.
Does he climb incidentally? Does he climb up the outside of them at all?
I don't think so.
He
No.
didn't climb when he was there, he looked.
So he's gonna submit a separate scope that I can bring back for you guys for consideration for next month on pricing and things like that, if you would want to do that. But right now we have the
We just hired
painting
him to
decision.
oversee the whole thing.
He's an
That's what-
independent inspector if you would feel the need to have one.
Project manager or.
Yeah. So that's what he was here for, just swinging back to that.
Might tell him what his charge is though too.
I think he said like $1,200 an inspection, and it was like 30 visits, 30 to 40.
It's gonna be like $50,000, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah. So regardless of the company, we broke down between the companies that we did have quotes on here, and I think you're the same as me. I guess my recommendation would be to go with Lane Tank. Quite a bit lower than we originally put on the capital improvement plan. We estimated about 500,000. So with logo included, the handrail, aviation light bracket, antenna cable, which is a requirement by the DNR. And the overflow pipe was the other requirement we needed to modify. Vents, condensation drains, logo, and Mayville on the other side of the tower. He came to $312,050 for
How long is the warranty?
warranties.
Just texted him, I just got an answer
Okay.
for you. Just ask him, here's his reply, and we'll right back to you. I'll just text him that. Standard in the industry is 1 or at most 2-year warranty. There is really no extended warranty for these projects. Really just a choice of hiring a quality contractor for the project. You just don't ever have failures that require that significant. Your tower is much better condition than most overcoats though. You are really trying to remove the clear coat and apply another year of being finished. I can tell you though, if we did a project and had a significant failure prematurely, we'd work to repair the issue. Our reputation depends on happy customers, good work.
So they're a Wisconsin-based company. I know there's been a lot of local water tower paintings around here lately
Yeah,
that,
you can drive by Leroy, they just finished theirs and they had no inspector on that job.
yeah, and it was Lane. It was Lane too.
They're on the docket for Brownsville in spring.
So our issue right now is the clear coat. So they no longer put clear coat on a water tower. It's not a product they use at all. James that was here before, when he saw our tower, he called it the last of the Mohicans, like, like, there's not another one like
in
it
the
right now.
90s, the overcoat.
Yeah,
And
It's
what's
supposed to be a
happening is that
UV.
overcoat's flaking off, and that's why we have the issues we have. So they'll come in and he uses water blasting. What do you say, 8,000 PSI, gets that clear coat off, then he repaints it, and the new paint that goes on has clear coat or urethane
It's a Europe.
built right into the paint. It's built into the new paint, that's
So
the
as
new
long as we
thing.
can get this clear coat off the
Oh.
top, we shouldn't have any sort of adhesion issues.
He said we should be able to get 20 years out of it, and the guys that told us if we go down to bare steel and redo it, you're looking at 25. But
Since it was brought down to bare metal 98, it was brought, it's
25 years.
been
That
25
must have been when
years.
they built it, wasn't it?
No, it was built in
70?
77.
and then that must have been lead-based paint.
Right, the reason it cost so much last time because they had lead-based paint on it.
In 97?
What would it cost to take it down all the way?
Almost
800.
800,000.
Yeah.
And these guys are claiming, a couple of them I talked to said, you should be able to get at least 3 coats on before you gotta take it back down to bare metal. The reason it costs so much is they gotta do complete containment. They gotta put out rigging on, they gotta put tarps down.
Didn't they have that over in, was
The rest
Yeah.
of just did it.
the rest of, it seemed to me I saw a tower with a
Mhm.
tent around it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lena did theirs.
Huh?
Lena.
No, some company out of Nebraska.
No, that was Michigan.
They were out of
Beaver
Nebraska.
Dam?
No, Teresa was out of Nebraska.
Oh, no, I thought
Beaver Dam was out of Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, they put outriggers on and they got a tarp and everything. That was quite a project.
So these guys Blaine would stay here for pretty much the entire project, maybe go home on weekends sometimes, but their only requirement is a place to stay.
We
with
gave
some
them
water.
a real short time window because,
Yeah,
and it's gotta be good weather to do this, humidity low, warm enough weather. We don't want that tower down before that canning factory. I want that
When do they
thing
start
full.
up?
So we gave them that April to June
Yeah.
timeframe, so they really gotta go.
Yeah, it's 58 days, I thought it said.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean.
So, where are you gonna have to stay?
We were thinking the treatment plant.
Yeah.
They were fine with that.
Who are they moving their,
They move in
They run the
a
fifth wheel in.
Motorhomes and
Yeah.
campers and?
Yeah, he's got 2 crews of 4 guys on each crew, and they work, I think, 5 on, 5 off, so a crew comes in, and then that other crew goes home up to Mosinee for a week, and then the other
So
crew
you're
comes
gonna
back
have
and
to
they
put
just
in
set
like
up camp.
Basketball courts, some tennis maybe.
Leroy, I think,
volleyball.
is perfect right next to
I
the
do.
tower.
Putting green.
I don't know, if I were climbing towers all day, I think I'd go home and go right to bed, I don't know.
Did they say at all, if this new coatings we put on the outside, is there gonna be a little bit of a deterrent for this mold buildup we get on the outside, or does that make no difference?
I guess, I don't know, I never really questioned that, but I guess.
We wanted to take the red a little higher up the stem, so you don't see that.
Well, we get that thing cleaned every, 3 years
Yeah.
about?
I
Yeah,
haven't,
that
we
costs-
haven't yet since I've been here.
That was about $5,000, I think,
$5,000.
last time, and I think, but this time we're gonna have, it's gonna look just like the other tower. We'll go up to at least that bottom seam, maybe even a little higher with the red, so the white doesn't show the dirt.
You don't see the
We
streaking
can
in the
maybe
dirt
go
runoff.
7 years or 8, 10 years without washing them.
It's just pollution from the water.
Correct.
That's, nothing you can do about that.
And so included, like the logo the logo thing with that too, included in that is, like the Mayville City logo that they did a contest 4 years ago that has the
Radio.
bridge and the geese and the Mayville. So utilizing that logo and then
or
they would
getting rid of the
still,
Cardinal?
if somebody would like to purchase a cardinal to place in another location, they are more than welcome to.
Let's see.
George, step in.
I asked them if they should get Met to put their logo on that one side.
I
Everybody,
tried.
They wanted to pay
Guys, see if they,
$75,000 for 25 years. They haven't.
Licensing rights
Yeah.
to it?
I did actually try to get the MEC to do that, and I told them if they didn't, I could approach Metalcraft to put a sign in their backyard.
You could also approach John Deere about.
Yeah.
putting
Oh,
a-
that would be
We'll
good.
make it green and gold.
Make it green and yellow, yeah.
I also told them I could maybe see if Seneca wanted to paint it like a corn cob, there was option.
So the recommendation is to go with Lane for a total of
$312,050.
Just so I understand, that includes everything that needs to be done to it, the,
All the
all the
modifications,
DNR.
and, this is kind of in my notes here, but it's more relevant here. I gave Dodge County a heads up because that does house their emergency equipment.
Yeah.
He was kind of excited about that. He hates his setup out there. They have a magnetic antenna stuck on the side. So they were interested. We've been talking just a little bit back and forth in, possibly putting a portion towards that corral to house their antennas and things. Corral is safety, it's for selling airspace.
Yeah, actually, as long as they're in here doing all the work, we're gonna have, there's a bunch of fabrication involved in that. They're gonna put a rail up there, they're gonna put holes in, so if we would ever be approached, or we could get it, where we could sell cell phone space, tower space to generate some income. I mean, a few municipalities get some pretty good money off of
Well,
that.
it's safety
We'll be all
service
ready to
for
go.
the
You know, we can
contractors.
bring
and
cables
stuff
down and
available.
So that's included in this, the
Yes.
corral is part of it.
Yep,
Okay.
the corral.
New
you know,
safety ladder, which was dated.
So yeah, we've just had some initial talks with, emergency management. I think his name is Joe in Dodge County, that maybe they can contribute a portion to this, move their equipment, get it placed where they want it, not use magnets to hold it together and,
Yeah, I wasn't aware they had a magnet mount antenna up there.
so and get their stuff where it needs to be too. So not solid on that one, but that's our initial talks there going forward.
So we'd be looking for a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to use, Lane Tank.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
How's the funding on that?
I think we've got,
We're working on that right now.
Yeah, we've had a couple meetings with Ellers right now, going through
So
for,
it'd be bonded or?
Yeah.
They don't just have to be.
going through bonding. Well, given the,
Bob Smith up there.
Let me say that nice.
Write a check, you know.
given the climate, the financial climate that we've been working through, we feel it's a better, and Ellers too, a better option to bond in the interim, so we know where things, until, we know where things actually are placed in the appropriate accounts. And I mean, city utilities are kind of intertwined that way, so we're going back quite a ways to
good point.
figure that out.
Anything else? If not, we'll take roll call on that.
Commissioner Engel?
Aye.
Breen?
Aye.
Rudolph?
I,
Patrick?
Aye.
Whitby?
Aye. Discuss with possible action regarding changing the date, January.
It's January 2nd right now.
Wanna come
I
in
know
the
we had
second
some
or
here, some gone. For some, it's a holiday, depending on the departments.
it wouldn't matter to me, so whatever.
I mean, the next week is fine with me too.
Yeah, me too.
What do you want?
I think it'd be easier to push it out a little, given both weeks are holidays and
Sure.
trying to get this.
Move it to the ninth. Ninth is fine. All in favor?
I,
Aye. We don't have to.
Ooh, that's gonna
Okay.
be cool. But, yeah.
Why?
I'm leaving town the 10th. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave the 9th or not, but,
well, if you leave, you don't have a quorum.
oh,
I think you do, yeah?
No, we do. We got four.
Oh, you
Yeah.
Four.
yeah,
You can go.
You have to zoom in.
can we make it earlier? I mean,
That would work out.
3 o'clock?
Oh,
2
boy.
Aye?
Let's shoot for that. I'll work around it.
I can do whatever, but.
Next is, water report.
January 9th at 4:00.
Currently, yeah.
Somebody's dying.
Woo,
Anyway,
Water
okay,
report.
4 PM, all right. It's somewhere in here.
nice.
All right, we had a leak at Old Fashioned Foods repaired on
Is
11:30.
that what that water's all over the frickin' road for?
We're on,
Oh, it's
South
still
Main
there.
or on Furnace Street?
It's still there?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
morning it was. On Main Street?
Oh,
Oh, they're
Oh.
on this, their service is behind them on
I don't know
School
what that
Street.
is.
It's coming down from the
Like
hill.
last week or so, that whole road is in, ice is up.
Is it snow melt from that big hillside or just from our runoff?
I thought it was a leak.
You
It
have a
was
leak on
service.
Old Fashioned Cheese on South School?
Yeah.
Didn't we just have one there not too?
Oh,
long?
yeah, it's terrible there. It's all fixed permanently now. We've had ongoing issues there for quite some time, so we got them to fix their portion of it too, and going through the wall and through, so we shouldn't have to look at that for another.
But, what our portion, that should have all been copper, wasn't that good?
No, there's so many twists and turns in it, there were so many bends in it that it weakened that copper, so every time there was a little bit of a bend, there was a weak point, and we just kept.
Okay.
And what do we do to prevent that now?
What did you run in there, poly?
There's new poly going all the way through.
2-inch poly or 1.5 inch?
Yeah, it was a 2 inch fitting, right?
All the way
They
from
should be
the-
go,
all the way
good to
from the
go.
street up
From here on
to the
out,
wall. Maybe plumbing, so.
through the cheese cave, beer cave, whatever. We responded to a service break, Max Horcon Street location also on 12-1. They were pretty good. It was on their ends. They had it fixed the next Saturday morning. I think they were done
I
right
see
away.
Connects with that, huh?
Yeah.
Valve was in the street to shut that down.
We moved it into the terrace when we did Bridge Street, to take it out of the blacktop, so it's right under the terrace, right there.
Good.
And it worked.
Hell, we're good.
It worked. It was a bonus.
Great.
I know, that was like about 4 o'clock Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, would you say a 6 inch? They kept the pipe like it was kind of where their service entered the building, like almost
Right under
under
the
the
footing,
building.
Under the foundation,
Yeah, that they had to repair that.
had a hole
Oh, I know that was leaking pretty good when I drove by.
Mhm. They're all fixed. Well, number 4 has a roof if you've driven by, water meter installed, interior drywall is being done, siding should be started in the next
No,
in tomorrow.
it's
Okay.
sitting there, I looked at it today.
Is it there now?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought a week, next week.
It's supposed to be here today.
Yeah, and additional site work they're working on in there, so we're getting.
What did we
pretty far.
decide to put on there for setting? I don't remember. I was trying to remember.
It's the fiber cement board.
Okay.
So, I don't know, that's one that you throw rocks at vinyl or lawnmowers, and there's a lot of residential and hills there, you got a lot of holes in it pretty quick, so this stuff should be just like the steel on the roof should be a pretty long-term solution.
It's
to-
pre-finished when they put
Yep.
it up.
So we're crossing our fingers that we did it right, and, the
Well,
siding's
we have
that
to have
last
you out
piece
there
to
with a
see if we
bucket.
got it together.
No.
No painting, no.
How film,
I think, I could be wrong on this, but I think when they do the fiber board, I think the color is like pre-mixed in the product,
Oh,
that it can't, like you can't ding it and leave a white spot, you can't, you know,
I think
it's-
you're right.
it looks good all the time.
yeah, I go by there every couple of days and I've been, it hasn't made huge leaps from
Yeah,
the
inside,
outside.
they've kind of gone inside as it's gotten a little colder, so we're getting there.
Is everything done across the street there?
Yes, except for like, they're waiting for the electrical box, the
You
PLCs.
know, yeah, that won't be till summer.
The conduit and everything is there to run it, they just don't have the panel in yet to be able to install it.
I know when we talked about redoing it, I think you mentioned that one of the things that places are trying to do is make it look like a residence, so it's not an obvious, and that looks like a residence when
There's
you
gonna
go.
be no signage on it.
All right.
No,
Yeah, I think.
Floor plan, right?
I didn't design
I told him I was gonna get him a pink welcome mat.
this.
It'll be all blacktop and concrete
Yeah,
in front, so.
Window treatments on the windows there, so it looks like a house.
Some curtains, maybe,
They're in the,
Already.
we got them, we're good,
little window boxes out there with petunias around.
Yeah.
good to go. I told him a rocking chair on the porch.
But you do have to have an address on there, 615.
I think, well, we can put the house number, just the little brass numbers on there, or on the support poles even, it probably stand out better, but yeah, there's a address.
6:15.
615 is,
Something said 6:25.
no,
He said 615, I'll
That
defend
still
him.
looks like a residence too.
No, I'm impressed with what's going on.
It looks awesome. Dodge County Radio Communications, I already talked about, that was a little part of my water report, otherwise I'm on that one.
Good on water?
Yeah.
Wastewater sewer system report.
We've had multiple HVAC issues, including repairs again to the furnace and makeup air units. Our last report from Dan from Train was 1.5 units of 4 makeup air units still function, or that's what he could get to function. And the furnace, I guess we're kind of
That stuff?
80s. I don't think that.
Replaced, they go, I don't know, just keep
82, 83.
keep limping it along. I mean, it's cold in there in the morning.
Yeah, I told Clint that, I said, Clint, I told the HVAC guy, like, just hold it together for now, just keep it running, and Clint said, I told him that for 20 years. So, like, we tried.
It would be a shame to put a lot of money into it, right?
Well, that's what, I'm like, do enough to make it, let's not freeze, but do enough to make it, I don't know. He knows the drill. Also having some issues with their overhead garage doors. I don't know what it was, but they didn't want to stop and they wanted to slide entirely off the
Well, that's not good.
rails, I guess. So, we had a technician come in, and we got the same story. This part I can help you with, but don't break this part back here because they don't make those anymore, so we're trying on those.
We might be able to sell them as antiques when we,
We'll try, we can do some creative writing on those. Let's see here, with affiliated products regarding the facilities planning, Tim and I went and spoke with them. They're agreeable to give us access through their parking lot, and then an extension of that parking lot during certain seasonal hours. I have some information out to Nolan to look over for, it's not necessarily an easement agreement, but a land use agreement going forward so that we have the easiest route. We get those trucks out of
Is
residential
that
areas.
blacktop?
It is blacktop.
So we're gonna have to pay when we wreck the blacktop.
Well,
So that's part of the agreement.
but and one section has to be a little wider, and we talked about it with the owner, and if we incorporate it in the project and make that section a little heavier, we only got trucks going in there once or twice a year, that should last a long
and
time.
that's for hauling sludge on.
Yeah, so our sludge hauling won't be anything like it is now. So it's a long probably 3 days of sludge hauling. They do 3 days, 3 to 4 days in spring, 3 to 4 days in fall, weather dependent. So they'd come in through the industrial park, loop around new storage tanks or appropriately sized storage tanks and leave through the back. So they don't come through the city, they don't.
Don't go across that bridge.
They don't go across that bridge. They don't try to turn down Turner Street onto Main Street.
According to my old fashioned as well.
It just makes
Start running them kind of
Yeah.
semis through there.
So Affiliated is agreeable to
Right.
do that, and then the pavement maintenance is one thing.
Right.
Obviously, if we wreck it, they don't wanna pay for it. I mean, they've been super nice, but nobody's
Well,
that
it's
nice.
good to work with.
Yeah.
No, they've been absolutely excellent.
Kind of got, we stressed, we let them know when we're coming in and leaving, you know, let their
It
workers.
shouldn't
know,
affect them
accommodate.
at all.
Well, they
We
just
shouldn't
ask that we
affect
don't,
Well, he's
we don't
worried about
run
like
trucks
shift
right
change,
as
you know,
their
and stuff.
employees
So
are
we would-
coming
we
in.
would
You know, if
accommodate
there's a
that
mad
20
rush
minutes
at
a day.
6 AM when their employees come in, like, maybe just like hold off for
You
a couple
envision in
minutes.
summertime any odor problems there with this?
With hauling.
Yeah, right going right through there?
Hauling always has a little bit of an odor just because it's hauling, but right now, I almost think we'd have less issues because right now we're doing it 8 times a week rather than,
I think the
8
key's
days
gonna
a
be is if
year.
we mix it enough before they haul. And that'll.
When your sludge is aged properly though, I feel like it doesn't have as much of an odor. It smells more, I don't know, you've probably been on that on sites. When it's aged, when it's fresher, it has more of a pungent odor.
More,
When it's aged and,
sulfur.
yeah, when it's aged, it's more of like an earthy smell to me. It's not as striking, I guess. Is that right?
Earthy.
Earthy, it's
It's
earthy.
gonna smell earthy.
So, yeah, and like messes, I don't think we ever have had an issue with Badger State hauling and being messy in the slightest.
What's spillage in that?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them, not a drop. But these tanks would be appropriate to, I called Tim from Badger State. If we did something where you could haul from top load and bottom load, all the haulers prefer the bottom load.
Oh,
It's pressurized, well, their insurance premiums go down because their guys aren't jumping on the trucks and sliding off, and what did the one dude just broke an ankle or sprained an ankle?
And they can haul faster that way too. I mean,
They
what
can
do we
haul
say, they can
faster.
fill a tanker in 7
Their
minutes
time
or
is our
whatever.
payment too.
So it's still pretty liquid. It's not,
Well, we're gonna be able to get, so right now we run about 1.3% solids. It's water. When we go out to the fields, pretty much anybody that's land applying, when they have our sludge, kind of laughing because it's mostly water. We don't have time to break it down. We don't have time to decant.
It won't settle down and decay.
So we should easily get to about 2% solid, which is much more preferable. So we should have far less.
but still,
To haul.
2%.
It's a big difference, so when
It's
it
liquid.
yeah, when it comes down to it, so.
And we're gonna have a meter on there, right, so we can know how much we're putting in those
Yes.
trucks? Cause we don't know right now.
Yeah, and that was one thing when I started, I know we were gonna do, but I haven't pursued that because I don't wanna put it in and
I know we talked about.
rip it out again, yeah, but yeah, I definitely wanna meter it. And I think if we change the class of sludge, because we're gonna do, this will be a little more paperwork involved when because right now the hauler takes the responsibility for their paperwork. They take our sludge is theirs. Essentially on the back end, Kewaskum does our paperwork because it goes into their storage. So when we are actually land applying and becoming a Class B sludge direct to land application, we'll have different reports to file and different things like that, so.
Do we
Well,
have,
we'll have to do sampling and won't we have
Yeah,
to do?
Yep, I always had to
Soil
sample up the
sampling?
truck.
Usually an agronomist gets involved. He
Yeah.
takes care of that end where it's getting land applied. You work with a local agronomist, that's what I did in the past. He takes care of his end, you take care of your end.
Cause I remember when we hauled it up to Oshkosh,
You get all the paperwork.
we paid for all that.
Yep,
Trez, we had our own, storage,
We paid the electricity. and-
pre-sampling before each hauling season, so we'll need a full panel, which isn't really that big of a deal. Full panel before you go out, and then I always go, when I was on land application sites, I always went for a ride along. They prefer you go for a ride along and at least see your sites in the application.
do we have sites already set up for land apply?
No, but Badger would probably take care of a lot of the.
He'd probably find something in the area, you don't wanna truck it
Well, I don't blame
50
him.
miles either, he's probably got the most connections around.
You know, I asked number one son who farms over by Theresa, and he said actually at this point in time, they have no place to put it. They've got more manure. Of course,
Oh, really?
he's got 500 cows, and
Yeah,
so he's got to deal with quite a bit of that.
yeah.
But I'm sure there would be somebody that could use a little more.
Yeah, there's plenty. We can't say there's no fields in Dodge County.
No,
But yeah, that's what we have on, I don't even know where I was on that.
Wastewater, you done?
Oh my God, I hope so.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to convene closed session pursuant section 19.85 concerning employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibility.
I so
Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we are in closed session.
I,
Bert's got to go to work.
at the door.